Okay, good afternoon, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about a great song, another Pink Floyd song called Sorrow. This was off their Momentary Lapse of Reason album around 1987, something like that. Okay, most of the time this is done, of course, on an electric guitar with a lot of extended echo and delay. This is an acoustic version of that song, and the guitar itself is in standard tuning, no issues there. On the amplifier, I do have significant echo on it in order to give that bounce back sound, and that is sort of key to getting this in a solo acoustic version of the song. So I'm going to go ahead and, as before, I will play a snippet of the song, and then we will examine each of the parts. All right, well, let me go ahead and show you how to play some of this. The song, as I mentioned before, starts out, and it uses a lot of echo and delay. A lot of what folks really know about this song is essentially the lead, the intro lead, and I hear it. I crack up every time because that seems to be all people play on it. But it's fairly simple to play on acoustic guitar, at least the way I'm playing it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide up from the 2nd fret of the A string going to the 7th fret of the A string. So it's going to be... And you're going to get a little vibrato by sort of shaking your finger, wiggling your finger to get that vibrato. Since I don't have a whammy bar on this thing, I get a little bit of that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go from the 7th fret up to the 9th fret, sliding up, and then back down to the 7th fret, and then to the 5th fret, again with vibrato. And then you're going to go to the 7th fret of the low E string, and then twice on the 5th fret of the A string again, and then to the 5th fret of the low E string, little vibrato, and then open. Open E, open low E. So this is how it sounds, sort of at half speed. Okay, now the intro to the song, he does that, I think he plays that twice. It's fairly extended, but it's, I mean, he's got a highly compressed echo driven signal going through all those amps and all that stuff. So you're gonna have to do the best you can to get that sound. So it's okay. So he opens up with that, and then the most important thing is to get this bass rhythm that's going on. And a lot of that is done by the bass and by the drums that are playing. So you want to get that started. I call it sort of a chucking strum. Now it's synchronized with the echo, and if you've ever done that and seen that done, I think U2 does a lot, with the synchronization to echo. So it's. If you watch my right hand, I'm basically playing the first two strings. Maybe sometimes I'll catch the third the D string. So you're sort of setting the beat with this. It's an E minor. The next chord is it's a D with an E bass, so it's basically a power chord D here on the 5th fret. 5th fret is your first finger on the A string, and then your ring finger and your pinky finger on the 7th fret of the D string and the G string. So that's a power chord D. It's a D with an E bass. Now I'm going to be playing, I want to make sure I catch that E string to give that droning E again. Now I'm going to take that same shape and I'm going to just drop it down to the 3rd fret. So my pointer finger's on the 3rd fret of the A string. That is a C with an E bass. Same thing, the chucking, establishing beat. And then I'm going to go back to the E minor. Same beat. Now this is where really the signature riff, my interpretation of the signature riff comes in. Now he normally plays it high. I think he's playing it up here somewhere. But what I'm going to do, because I want to get this bass, sort of simulate this bass, I'm going to play it on the A string again. So from the E minor, so I'm going to go. So I'm going to slide up to the 7th fret of the A string, and then immediately drop down to the 5th fret of the A string. So I'm going to get this sound. Okay? So very important, because at the end of each verse, he goes back to that. David Gilmour goes back to that every time, okay? And it's very important to get that signature sound that he has, that sort of sliding off of the A minor. Okay, now, so you got that essentially an intro chord effort, and I'm going to go ahead and play that in full. I'm going to go ahead and play that full speed again. D with an E bass, C with an E bass, E minor. So that was that signature riff at the end there. Now the verses basically start off with that same pattern again, with an E minor. Sweet smell of the great sorrow, what lies over the land. So it starts out E minor, goes to the D with an E bass. Plumes of smoke rise and merge into the leaden sky. A man lies and dreams of green fields and rivers. So that's C with an E bass. But wakes to the morning with no reason for waking. Now that last line, you're going from E minor back to the D with an E bass. And then you're going to play the signature riff again, so it's... Okay? So that's the first verse. Second verse is similar again. It's haunted by the memory of a lost paradise. In his youth can't be precise. Okay, so it's E minor, D with an E bass, C with an E bass, back to E minor. Not enough. Signature riff. And if you want, you just sort of stay on that. Okay. All right. So there's basically going to be 3 verses that are like that, and then you're going to get to the what I'm calling the chorus part of this song. There's really only one chorus, and it's after the 3rd verse, and he does the same thing. And it's a real change up. He goes, one world, one soul. Okay, so it's B minor to an A with a B bass. So you're gonna layer, basically just, this is an A, you're just gonna catch the B there again. You can do it by just laying over that and just playing these middle strings. A with a B bass, back to B minor, and then an F sharp minor. So you're gonna do basically 2 lines of that. One world, one soul. Real different tempo. I'm past the river rose. And then they jump back into a lead, but I call it an interlude. It's sort of like a solo interlude because it's changing again. Changing keys really to a G. And they're doing the G with the extended G, which adds your ring finger onto the 3rd fret of the B string. And it's back to strumming to an A, to a G, back to an A, a B minor, and then just sort of hold it on a B minor, and then there over that B minor, the guy David is playing. There's sort of this interlude of solo over B minor. And then it's gonna that goes on for an extended lead. You can either play that or not, or just do the B minor. Goes to the next verse, which is essentially the same thing, E minor, and then there's a 5th verse, same thing, starting with E minor. Now, the song ends after it goes back to the signature riff. It's going to play one whole section about 3 times. It's essentially playing those chords again. E minor to a D with an E bass to a C. There's all kinds of lead going on over this. Okay? And then it just slows down, and then he almost reverses his way out of the song again, playing. He's just doing this outro lead again. He does this twice, and then he ends the song. Okay, and the song basically ends at that point. Crowds cheer and all that stuff. Okay, so what I've shown you today is really how to play the great song Sorrow by Pink Floyd on acoustic guitar. Hopefully that helps you, gets you past just the intro, which I've seen way too many times, and gets you into how to play the song itself. Now, if you had a second guitar doing lead or a bass guitar playing the bass line, this would sound great. So as before with all my videos, if you have any questions about how I play this, leave me a comment at my YouTube channel, or if you have any questions about any of my videos, I'd like to hear them. So as always, have a great day, and we'll catch you later.